Welcome to this Ukraine war update, day 473. So let's begin with some happier news. In happier news, these 95 Ukrainian captives were exchanged for Russian prisoners. So 90 POWs has been returned from Mariupol, Chernobyl, and different areas. Okay, so here's a video of a soldier crying for his return. Just hugging Ukrainian soil. So what a happy scene to see. Okay, another picture of a soldier happy to return back to Ukrainian soil. You can see these soldiers greeting and hugging one another, getting off the bus. Okay, so lastly, another image of embrace for all those Ukrainian heroes that were returned in this 95 prisoner exchange. In other frontline news, this Russian air defense Tor system somehow shot a missile, but it just shot itself. So Russian equipment failures. So I believe that equipment failures are part of both sides. Sometimes you report them, and then this is a funny video of it. As fierce fighting goes on in Ukraine, you can see that this base with over 60 plus Russian vehicles were destroyed in the Melitopol area. So this ongoing offensive is on both sides. I think it might be a HIMARS attack. So you can see these vehicles were targeted. I think they believe about roughly 60 vehicles were destroyed. I'm not sure there's 60, but maybe just an ammo depot with a lot of different ammos and different things in it. So it's an ongoing battle where you have Ukraine able to spot the Russian um, elements, and they were able to destroy some of those elements. Okay, so let's get into some battle maps. So this is the Zaporizhia region. Ukraine has been able to, it looks like, advance quite a bit, about 15 kilometers deep into, not 15, I'm not believe it's a little bit less than that, but I think they're about 15 kilometers away from Tamuk. So this is a Rinkov area. So this city, these cities around is slowly being carved away and taken. So Zaporizhia, this is the area that you saw in previous videos where there were the Bradleys and Leopards that were destroyed in the minefields. So this is a heavily fortified area. Russia has sent a lot of reserves in this area. So this is Ukraine is probably losing quite a bit of equipment and different things in this area. So it's an ongoing battle. So battle lines can still shift, but this is kind of the current state at the moment in the Zaporizhia area. Okay, so here's a map of the whole front. You can see that there's not been any much update on this map because this is a deep state map because Ukraine has not been posting. So basically, most of these updates are based on posts from a Ukrainian side or Russian side that show soldiers in those cities. So therefore, you have not seen the movement right here. But I think other different sources believe that some of these areas are taken. So the Ukraine is continuing pushing. I see these gray areas or gray zones that may be pushing, but you don't have any confirmed data. So also here, I think in this area is where majority of some of the fighting are. You can see that Ukraine has been pushing and gaining some territory, and then Russians have been retreating. And I believe you saw some videos of Russians retreating from this area. I think there's some high grounds in this area, so Russians are being pushed out. And then also in the city called Mariupol, Ukraine says that Ukraine might have captured it. So it's not fully confirmed yet, but from some sources they say it may have pushed a little bit deeper into Russian territory. And I think Russia might be flattening out in this area and getting pushed back in this area. So I believe that the main Ukraine offensive has not fully begun yet, but you can see some progress that Ukraine has made. But it is not an easy progress. So it is a costly progress. A lot of Western tanks and maybe a lot of casualties have been involved, but I believe that they're still making some slow progress. And I believe offenses are something that will take time to develop and take time to strengthen and build up. And whenever I believe Ukraine sees an opportunity, they will take charge and make a full-blown offensive. But we have not seen that yet. These are more still smaller group penetrations in these areas. with the help of support of drones and artillery. Also, there's some news from the Crimea and also the Melitopol area. The main railroad lines connecting from Crimea in two spots have been attacked and destroyed. So these areas have been attacked by partisans that have blew up the railroad lines in both areas. So in doing so, what it does is it causes delay to Russian supplies. So Russian supplies are coming up from this way into a lot of these regions. So less supplies of these soldiers have here, the more harder it is to fight, right? So you need both ammo, you need tanks and guns and missiles and food and everything that goes up. So to feed hundreds and thousands of soldiers, you can't just say, they have everything ready. You basically have to supply and bring in a lot of everything. So cutting these out might delay the supplies for another 5 to 6 days, or maybe several days. So in that time, it would probably give Ukraine a big advantage to push, since there's shortages of ammo and different things that Russia may have, so they can push them out of some of those areas. So it is a great effect. You can see here. Here's a video of one of the train tracks being attacked and destroyed. So you can see it's been recorded from a distance. The railroad line has been bombed, so preventing Russians from supplying some of those frontline areas. Okay, this video shows a Russian electronic warfare system. These ones have been causing quite a lot of problem to Ukrainian drones and a lot of electronics. So there's a destruction of one of the systems that was found, and it was hit. So these systems need to be taken out if Ukraine is to be effective in the front lines using drones. I think both sides, because of these systems, have been losing quite a lot of drones. So basically, knocking out these systems will help Ukraine a lot. You may have seen this image before. This is the assault of the Ukrainian troops in the Bakhmut area on trenches. I believe hundreds of Russian soldiers were killed in this assault. I don't know how many Ukrainian soldiers were killed, but you can see they're supported by Humvee systems. I'll play the video. So you can see the suppressing fire from these two Humvees are pinning these soldiers down in these trenches, and so that these soldiers can advance. So this is a tactic where soldiers are being kind of just pinned so that you can march forward. So they were able to clear these trenches out and gain more territory. So you can see the guy's head sticking out here. So the head is coming out, trying to shoot. They got shot at, and he went back. So it is a dangerous operation when you're trying to siege and take over trenches. So this guy is pretty much trapped. So I believe they refused to surrender. So therefore, they must have been killed in this situation. So I just wanted to highlight, that it's not easy taking these trench lines in these different areas. Some not so good news in Ukraine. I think this is possibly in the Zaporizhia region. So as some of these tanks were clearing the mines, you can see three of these mine clearing tanks were disabled or destroyed in this assault. So Ukraine was not only given a limited supply of these specialized vehicles for demining. I believe they may have been blown up by mines or possibly by drone attacks and different things. So it's not so positive for Ukraine. I think yeah, so there's only a small number. You can see three of them here that are destroyed. As Ukraine pushes to regain territory and to push the Russians out of these areas, it is not an easy process. So you'll definitely see a lot more assaults where damaged vehicles and even Western equipment be destroyed. So Western equipment are not meant to be invincible. They're not invincible. The main thing is that they're more survivable. That's the advantage of them, is that it's there to be hit and damaged, but it's meant to be able to sustain and keep the crew alive so that they would continue to fight, right? So if you have a dead crew versus a damaged tanks can be repaired or replaced, but replacing a soldier is not so easy. So therefore, this offensive, it will continue to go on and grind on, and you'll probably see more losses on both sides and more equipment being damaged on both sides. So stay patient, stay vigilant, And thank you for watching. Hope you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.